Chasing the dream and we're in it together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes at you probably multiple times today.
Whatever.
Testing.
1, 2.
You see my chest moving? Not you moving your shoulders. What is this?
Go together.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of 6-8 Podcast. I'm Ja.
And I'm Michelle.
All right, so let's talk about it. There's a lot of these GLP1s out there, right? You know, the weight loss drug or whatever. So, do you feel like you need to sneak?
I did. Though the feeling has passed now.
Okay, all right. so do you feel like, because I'm seeing it now to where it's like available in a sense where it seems almost as if you can pretty much just purchase it on Amazon, which I'm not sure 100% if that's true or not. I don't know if you like need some sort of an appointment, but I will say that it does seem like you can, even if not on Amazon, that you can just pretty much purchase it freely online. And yes, it is expensive, but still you can purchase it without any sort of supervision. Do you feel like that it should have supervision? Like people should be able to just go out and purchase it and do what they want freely? Or is that like a recipe for a disaster?
Definitely a recipe for disaster. I think, as with all medication, they should be some type of supervision. Honestly, when it comes to those kind of things, you even have to be taught how to administer it, right?
No,
So
sure.
just having it like easily available to purchase, to do on your own, is rather dangerous and reckless. They have side effects like all medications, and I think not being under the supervision of a doctor is very, very dangerous and could be detrimental to someone.
No, absolutely. If anybody living under a rock, the GLP-1s, its main thing as far as what it was created for was actually diabetes, type 2 specifically. So more of a diabetes that's also usually tied to significant weight gain, so being overweight, things of that nature. So basically, it came to a point where they realized that sort of a side effect of the GLP-1s was that you would eat less. And obviously, if you eat less, you're less likely to overeat. And because you're less likely to overeat, you're more likely to lose weight and get to a healthy weight that you can maintain. However, since then, they have also started to sort of put together these different formulas, if you will, that are more geared toward and specific to losing weight. So they're no longer considered specific to diabetes. They're not diabetes medications anymore. Now you're looking at actual weight loss medications. That being said, you can get these meds through insurance, to be covered by insurance. If you go to the proper doctor that will, go through the proper things with you, testing sort of that can then get you essentially diagnosed. So if you are diagnosed with any of the things that it treats, then you can get it through insurance. Now, I agree. I think that they are one of the most groundbreaking things. I feel like we're going to see an increase in lifespan because, that is one of, I want to say that's the top killer for us. That it's now, obviously, there are other things that people are like actually passing away from, right? Where it's like heart disease and things of that nature, but they're usually heavily dependent upon being overweight. Like it's usually that these conditions that people are dying from are conditions that they have because of being overweight, and so it is considered the number one killer, and so, or at least very high up there. And so if that is the case, then I do believe that this is extremely groundbreaking and has the chance to really extend the lifespan, at least in America, because we heard.
Americans are very unhealthy.
Yeah. So that being said, though, I think like any medication, that it is extremely important to have medical supervision. Like you said, there are a lot of side effects and you just don't know what it's doing to your body. And I just have a really bad feeling that, very similar to other things from our past, that we'll be seeing, these class action suit commercials, these ads that are like, oh, were you on Zepbound? Did you get the promise of weight loss and instead you got cancer, or whatever the case might be? And I'm really hoping that that's not the case. But the problem is that you have something that is seemingly too good to be true in the sense of how well it works and how fast it works. But you also do have a lot of people that are saying that it's difficult. I recently seen a video of a mukbanger. Well, I didn't actually watch the video. I seen a thumbnail for a video that basically was stating that this mukbanger content creator felt that it was just too hard to be on the GLP-1. Now, I think it's true, because what a lot of people fail to understand going into this is that it's not as simple as you get the shot, you lose weight.
Yeah.
You get the shot and your appetite decreases. And as your appetite decreases, you will eat less. However, if you have an unhealthy eating condition, it is very possible that you will, out of the habit of eating food, attempt to eat more than what your body needs or wants. And then you'll find yourself sick to your stomach. So, and that's not the only thing that could happen, but that's just a part of it. And so that can make it more difficult. And so I think it is extremely important to have medical supervision, because a medical professional can kind of point that out and make sure that you're aware of that and put a plan together to hit the source of the problem prior to going after the actual overweight issue, right? So yeah, I think it's a great thing that we have, because losing weight can be very difficult for many people. I can't attest to it being difficult for me. I have never had trouble losing weight. What I have had trouble with is more of the motivation or the education on what it would take to lose the weight. So yeah, I think that it is something that has been kind of beat into society, that losing weight is hard. And so many people really believe that there are more people that are like not losing weight because they think they can't lose weight than there are that it's like, oh, well, I've tried. Like, there are a lot of people that might tell you like that they've tried, but if they really dig deep down, they can say, well, I mean, I've thought about it. I started going to the gym and then I stopped.
Right.
That's not the same thing as
The
trying to
effort
lose
wasn't
weight. Yeah,
really
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to shame anyone's journey. Everyone's journey looks different. I am only stating that it is unfortunate that a lot of us don't have or did not grow up with the education when it came to what weight loss really truly looks like, and how it does not have to be this difficult thing.
Yeah.
And so I almost feel like intentionally we live in a society who has done everything in their power to make us believe that it's hard, so that they can then turn around and pitch to us these like get fit quick
Right. Because I was
schemes.
just thinking, like, they make it seem like, oh, you get the shot, you lose the weight, like you said earlier, but that's not how it works. It's still a lifestyle change you have to do when you're taking these shots. They still tell you, if you have a doctor that really is, knows what they're talking about, you still need to work out. You still need to change your diet. It reminds me of that girl we were watching on the show that wasn't getting enough protein. And so her body was literally breaking down on
Yeah.
her. Like,
Yep.
it's still work that has to be put in. It's not just getting a shot and now in a couple of weeks I'm down all this weight.
Right.
And because I had thought about doing it, and then I was
Mhm.
like, well, if you think about the side effects, and I'm sorry, I'm a big side effects person, and no, I'm not trying to get me nothing that's gonna help me lose weight, and then I might have a stroke and die. So I am good on that. But minimal effort and I saw a change. So yeah, it's just really, like you said, being educated on how to lose weight, how to live a healthy lifestyle, but also knowing that you still have to do this when you're on these products.
Yeah, and it's important to know your body, right? Because there are some people out there that genetics and things of that nature will actually make it a little bit more difficult for them to, at least to what we're talking about, right? Where we're like, oh, minimal effort can also still do the trick. Simply changing your diet can do the trick. And when I say changing your diet, I really don't like the negative spin that the word diet has had. Like, it has such a bad rap that it's like people believe when they hear diet, like, worst thing ever, right? And so, it's everything you do food wise is a diet. So let's be clear. When I say changing your diet, I do not necessarily mean going and eating, everything you eat has to be green or the most expensive top shelf, whatever. No.
Yeah, it's just your food intake.
Yeah, exactly. Your calorie intake, and I don't want to get into the debate about calories in or calories out. Like, I know that there's a lot of people out there that are pretty much against the calories in, calories out, because they're like, oh, it's not as simple as that. And I agree, it's not. However, it is very important for someone starting out to have something simple as far as a concept when it comes to how it all works. So that's what I mean when I say calories in, calories out. I am speaking of it very plainly, in a very simplistic way, the way it works. And there's so much more that goes into that. So, that being said, I think it's important to get educated. Like I said in a previous episode, get educated on whatever it is, especially if you're putting it into your body. So, groundbreaking, absolutely, 1000%, but it is not a miracle drug by any means. And everything has a price. Everything has a price, especially things that come off like miracles, because it does seemingly come off like a miracle because of how well it works for a lot of people who do it right under medical supervision. I promise you that if you see someone who has done it right and for an extended period of time, it's because they did it under medical supervision. So please, please, I urge you, don't just go out there, buy it, and try it without medical supervision. Get educated on it and make sure you're using it properly, man. Be safe. All right, guys. So you know what time it is. It's Court Vision. Now, again, like we previously stated, for the next few episodes, we'll be going over some of the teams in Unrivaled. By some of, I mean all of, but we'll do the episodes 2 teams at a time, where we break down each player on each team, talk about what they bring to the team. If we have any information on them from the league, by the league, I mean the WNBA, we'll talk about that as well. And yeah, so this week we have the Laces and Phantom. So I'm gonna let you start. All right, I'm gonna let you start. You can go ahead and start with the Laces. You got it.
All right, so I don't really remember where I ranked them on that episode we did ranking, but Laces is freaking killing it, bro. They are like putting in the work, okay? Their team is like meshing, like, I don't know. They're just on some stuff, okay?
I agree.
So let's see. We started with Slim. So all right, they got Brittany Sykes, aka Slim.
How she said it? She said, "Final Slim, Laces Slim, we'll win."
And they win. Okay.
Yes, they are.
And they are winning. I don't even really know what to say. Like last year she played. I was unsure about her last year. Then we got in the W and I still wasn't really sure. I guess maybe not really watching her play. But when she came over to Seattle,
Yeah.
I definitely started watching her play, and I feel like she was definitely like spreading her wings there during the rest of that season. And she's like, I don't know, man. This year on Unrivaled, she's just definitely putting in a lot of work. Like
No,
she
I
is
agree.
so fast. Like
Yeah, she is.
she is so fast.
Arguably, I would say she's probably the fastest. And I think there are like maybe a couple kind of in her league that I even still feel like she's faster than. I do believe that she's the fastest.
Yeah, she's like so fast. Like 1 minute she's here, the next minute she's there.
Zoom.
Or she's all the way back here and all of a sudden running past everybody. It's like, how the hell did you get up here?
And I have to mention this. So she's a guard. She's not necessarily a short guard, but she's a guard. And it's worth noting that not only is she a guard, but she has hops out of this world. So in a previous game, now this is the game after Dom Dunk. So not the game where Dom dunked, but the game after Dom Dunk. By Dom, I mean Dominique Malunga. So, which I don't even know if I said her name in her episode other than Dom. I think I just kept saying Dom. But the episode after Dom dunked, sorry, episode. The game after Dom dunked, Brittany Sykes was the team that so the Laces and the Breeze were playing against one another, and Brittany Sykes ran down the court, and this was like supposed to be essentially an open layup for Dom on a transition. And Brittany Sykes ran down there and jumped up. And not only did she get up there, her hand went through the hoop and she ended up slapping the rim. I was like, hold up, time out, Slim. Like, I knew she had ups, but bro, so she's fast, she's athletic.
Yo.
She is a dog. She is a dog. And she is a dog. She is out there. And what I love about that though is like she does all of that and she's still as humble as pie. Like she's got so much energy. She reminds me of Josh Hart. Like Josh Hart, he be all over the court. Sorry, I'm a Knicks fan, guys. So he all over the court, like just everywhere.
Mhm.
Like literally Jalen Brunson goes, like when they ask me, like, so what does Josh Hart bring to the team? He goes, cardio. Like that to me is what Brittany Sykes brings to any team she's on, because she is nonstop out there. She does not give up on the play. If her shot's not falling, she's still gonna find another way to get it done. And she's not selfish with the ball
At all.
She is a pest on defense, and she don't care what position you play. When she's defending you, she's giving it her all, and she not finna let you dunk on her. Now I'm talking to you, Dom. So yeah, Slim is slime. All right. All right. So next up is Naz Hillman. Love Naz. She played on the Atlanta Dream in the W. She is notably the what is it called? The most improved player of the year for the last WNBA season. She hit over 50 threes after being someone who only like attempted like 12. So that was huge. It got to the point where, it was something that she just wasn't doing. And so her teammates really just kind of had to start saying to her, like, yo, just shoot it. And she was shooting that thing and that thing was going in. She knows her role and she plays it well. So let's talk Jordan Canada.
Another one of your favorites. You go
I love me some Jordan Canada, man. Jordan Canada, man, she's so acrobatic and so fast and so shifty. You really don't know what she's about to do. And I love that for her. She's definitely a guard. So she is primarily a point guard, so she's mostly the person that's handling the ball, bringing the ball up the court, that kind of thing. But she is fast and crafty. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I know. Yeah, I agree with all that you said. Like, I didn't even know who she was until last year on Rival. I was, who are you talking about? Like, but
Canada.
Yeah, she's definitely one that you can never anticipate what she's gonna do.
That's another thing. She'll run around the entire court. That's another thing about her. Like, you are not going to enjoy playing defense on her. I promise you that. She's another one of those like kind of cardio players where she's just out there, pew, like doing laps on the half court, right? So to the point where, you never know if she's going to continue to go all the way around or if she's going to hit that reverse on you. Like, so now you chasing her around this court, thinking she's looking for the outlet pass because she is definitely a passer. She's a pass first guard for sure. But at the same time, she has no problem with bringing you under the hoop and you chasing behind her. And then she go, oh, just kidding.
Yeah, she's definitely on the go from the minute she like touched the court.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the go.
On the go. She never stops moving. I love that.
I love that. She's done. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. All right, you got the next one.
Oh my god. So okay, we got Alyssa Thomas. She's definitely one of those players that I'm not really sure how I feel about her when we're talking about the dub, but I got respect for her, right? Because we're talking about somebody who essentially is playing injured in both shoulders and really should have surgery.
Double torn labrums.
And is just still out here playing.
Could you imagine? Double torn labrums. So if you ever see her shoot, she shoots kind of awkward because she got 2 torn labrums. So, and it didn't happen obviously at the same time. But it happened years ago and she just refuses to have the surgery because she doesn't want to stop playing ball.
Yeah.
because of how long it says that she'll be out for. And arguably, somebody might have that argument that, like, hey, her putting it off is causing her more problems in
Or
the
yeah.
long run. But she's a dog, so she's out there in pain every day, getting it done for years.
Yeah. She's definitely a bully on the court.
Absolutely, which is also insane because knowing that somebody's in pain 24/7 and they still like literally bodying people, just like with torn labrum, I couldn't even
Yeah,
imagine.
like with no thought to like
I stubbed my
her.
toe and I'm ready to go to the doctor. So you talk about two torn labrums, that's wild.
Yeah,
With the torn labrum and then lifting the nah, dog.
yeah.
And I've actually seen her accidentally fully extend her arm before. Woo! That was a no-go. She was out for the rest of the game. But that's a lie. She was out for the rest of the quarter, I believe. I do believe she actually came back later in the game. Because I remember kind of the announcers essentially reinstating the she's a dog because she is.
Yeah. So now we got Maddie Segrist. So
Sorry to that girl.
my husband has no idea who she is, and really, I don't really know her like that either. But I knew her enough to know her name and stuff when it came up. I actually don't feel like I paid much attention to her playing in the W, but I will say this girl can shoot a ball.
Uh-huh.
Okay, she can shoot a freaking ball. If she gets out there, I think she knows exactly what's expected of her, you know, where she should be, how she should move. And I don't feel like I've seen much where I'm like, what is she doing? Like, I'm just like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah,
oh
she gets
yeah,
after it.
she
She's
got,
gonna 10 as soon as she out
yeah,
there. As soon as she out there.
like,
She's not, sometimes what you'll see, and this goes for pretty much any league really. Sometimes what you'll see is like a player, especially because she's not a starter. So sometimes you'll see somebody that kind of came off the bench that it's either chaotic or they either just kind of like low key standing around for a little bit, trying to settle in, trying to figure it out. Like it's never like that with her. She gets in and she's immediately like on 10.
oh yeah, she jumps right in there,
Yeah.
like, and
And fits in like a puzzle.
don't
Puzzle
let
piece.
her like get in there and get on that flow state like you were saying, because it's over. Like she's hitting them threes, she's in the corner, she's like, yeah, she can throw a damn ball, I'll tell you that. She can make a basket.
For sure. And then last but certainly not least for the laces, we got Jackie O. Jackie Young. Love me some Jackie Young, man. Jackie Young, yes, she's fast. Yes, she's a dog. Yes, she can shoot. She can do it all. She can shoot from anywhere. She is a full package, which is the reason why it shouldn't be a surprise to know that she is a champion. She actually recently won a championship with the Las Vegas Aces, and a lot of that championship actually had to do with her. So I think they were calling her like second chance Jack or something like that. Because there was a game that was a little touch and go for a bit during the round before the finals where against the Fever. So yeah, man, Jackie, oh man, she's disgusting. So she is a guard. It seems kind of like she plays a little in both of those spaces. I think and the reason why I'm unsure is because of how good she is. Like she's like a lot of times when when that player is the shooting guard, right? Like, and generally when you come up in basketball, if you were a point guard, you also have the ability to go back and forth between point guard and shooting guard. However, that doesn't mean that when you get to the pros that's something that's going to translate. A lot of times, once you get to the pros, it's like you don't necessarily settle in to be able to do both. But she is so dynamic that she can absolutely do both. But yeah, so she absolutely, yeah, she's nasty,
Oh,
honestly.
she don't quit. She don't give up. Like
Mm-mm.
it is, if it's going to the last minute, it's going to the last minute. And she's fighting her hardest. She's definitely pushing her team to fight their hardest. And yeah, I never felt like I was ever like, oh, I'm unsure of this one. Like I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh no, she dangerous, yo.
Yeah, and I love how she goes, I don't dance, and then they cut to her dancing. So like, but yeah, so that's it for the laces. Now let's move on to the Phantom.
Okay. So we have Dana Evans.
No, you gotta say it right. So we starting off with Dana Evans with the good knees.
Yeah, I didn't even really know who she was. I think I just heard her name around, but seeing her now, she like definitely is like about her team.
Mhm.
Like she really is. Did she play yet? No, right?
No, she hasn't. So, she hasn't played yet as of now. No.
Right. So yeah, she hasn't played, but she's literally there every game. She's like definitely hyping her team up. I can't speak to her game in the W because, like I said, I really don't remember. Like,
That's crazy. So I could speak to her game in the W. I don't know what she's talking about. She was literally watching these games with me. She's literally on the Las Vegas Aces, and she also played a big role in them winning. So I don't know what she's
uh,
talking about. I ain't with her. So so yeah, Dana Evans is also pretty nasty. She is also one of those like fast guards. So one of the things about the WNBA Las Vegas Aces win this last time around was it really was a full team effort in the sense of like every single night was pretty much a different person who really showed up and went the extra mile. And one of those nights absolutely belonged to Dana Evans. It actually got to the point where they actually ended up giving her extra time, like more time, because of how well she was playing in those playoffs. Like she was going stupid. So, yeah, like she's when I say fast, she's fast, and she's also one of those shifty ones. So yeah, so she's one of those guards that I feel like can live both in the guard and forward space, in the sense like a small forward slash shooting guard or small forward slash point guard, but yeah, Dana Evans is nasty. Love her game. Next, let's talk about Tiffany Hayes. Love Tiffany Hayes. Pretty sure has her own like fashion line and stuff, which I think is dope. Love that. She she's known for her like grills that she's always pointing at the bottom. But yeah, so I remember you mentioning how like Skylar, like you always pretty much want to see her tunnel walks, but Tiffany Hayes is definitely also one of those ones that I always want to see what she got on when she's coming down the tunnel, because there's always something, you know what I'm saying? Like she ain't just popping out on no light work type. So
mhm.
so I love seeing what she brings to the tunnel. As far as her game, she is more of a 3-point shooter. She's a sniper for sure. You really don't see her doing too much on the shifty side of things. I also believe she's a guard slash forward as well. Doesn't mean she can't handle the ball, but it's just that's not necessarily her game. Her game is like spot up shooting. Like I mean, not to say she can't take it to the rack, but for sure she's looking for that 3-point shot first.
So the next one we got is Aaliyah Boston. So that's who we talking about. Be here say AB. In the W, she plays on the Fever. I think so. Watching her in Unrivaled, I feel like we're definitely seeing like a different AB, like a different play style. Like I'm thinking she's doing. If I think back to the games, I'm like she's definitely doing a lot more shooting
Yeah,
than she was doing. Like
for sure.
you normally would just seeing her like in the paint, going up, doing
Right.
all that. And now she's definitely getting more comfortable with shooting the ball more. I think her team is definitely pushing her too to
Yeah.
like, be more free, be more open, have some more confidence in those shots. We
Mhm.
are seeing some of these shots are like going in and they're looking good too. So I'm definitely seeing a different play style from her, watching her playing Unrivaled. And
Yeah, she
I'm
shoots more threes in Unrivaled than she does in the W for sure.
yeah, and I'm definitely hoping that like fingers crossed we have a season that this definitely translates over into that because I'm thoroughly enjoying watching her like morph into this
Yeah.
player that we're
Yeah,
seeing.
for sure. So I want to talk about Kiki. Do you love me? Let's talk about Kiki Area fan, man. She is a dog. I mean, and what I love about her is she's not only a dog, but she's feisty. She's definitely one of those ones that be out there. She be like getting them and ones on them and then doing a little too small. Love that. Absolutely love that. Like even when she do it against people that's taller than her, I don't even care. It's so funny to me. I'll be getting fired up because like I love that. I love seeing somebody that's super passionate about their game. She's a big, so there's not really a lot of people that's going up against her that's taller than her, but she definitely like she would do that to BG like
Oh yeah.
1000%. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she did do that to BG. Like now, not to say that BG ain't a feisty one that has something to say about it, but I'm just saying that she one of the ones for sure, and she gonna let you know about it. You gonna hear about it, especially if you like hitting her and stuff like that. You physical with her, you gonna hear about it for sure. I ain't even gonna front. So I love that she and she's also one of those bigs that gets after it. There's a lot of people that'll let the ball just kind of go out of bounds and they won't like do too
Oh
much.
yeah.
Nah, she getting after it every time, every time.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well,
don't do all
hear
that.
it. All right. So now we got Natasha Cloud.
I'm about to turn your mic off.
Hey. So first off, I'm gonna go ahead and need to give me a fancy crop. Okay.
You need a fancy crop?
Yes.
I need a poppy crop.
Okay. So Natasha Cloud. So I learned who Cloud was last season of Unrivaled. Still had no clue who it was. And then the W came, and here
This
we
is
are
unfortunately extremely true. I can attest to this.
watching the Liberty. And I'm like, oh, I know her. Okay. And so I definitely started watching, Cloud play, and I was like, oh shoot, like she's good. And then
I
like
probably should have said, sorry, I'm a New York fan, because I'm not just a Knicks fan. This house is also Liberty
a Liberty
fans.
fan.
So
Yeah. So getting to like see her play, I was like very intrigued by like, oh, I didn't know who she was, and seeing, first off, she's very charismatic. Like she's definitely getting to know her more like a girl's girl, definitely a trendsetter, and
1000%.
all around just a people person. And so you actually see all that stuff translate over when she's like
Yeah.
playing her game. Like it's never like any ill will
Yep.
or like attitude. It's
Yeah,
like,
she's an
yeah, we're
absolute
here playing a game, but
she's an absolute sweetheart.
yeah, I love some Cloud, and again, trendsetter. Okay, we talking about mommy crops, poppy crops, fancy crops. Like I need one ASAP.
Yeah.
Love her game.
1000%. And lastly, but certainly not least, for the Phantom, we've got the good old Kelsey Plum. Okay, all right. I just want to say that I did not always, I don't know if the word would be like it. Seems kind of unfair to make that statement. For a long time, I was unsure of where I stood with Kelsey Plum. And I think a big part of that had to do with social media. I think one of my first kind of introductions to her was a clip of when Asia Wilson was mic'd up, or it was either Asia Wilson was mic'd up or she was mic'd up, and Asia was making some statements about kind of privilege and things of that nature, and how Kelsey's good, but she also has privilege and all those other things. So just that situation, the way a lot of people kind of spun that, confused me. I wasn't 100% sure what like was going on there. So I was unsure, and to be fair, it made me unsure about her and Asia, like at the time. Then there was the switching of teams, where a lot of people tried to swing it as she was jealous and all these other things. Not that I believe that. It was more so, again, just made me furthermore unsure, because these are the only things that I'm hearing of her. So I'm not necessarily getting a good read on what's actually going on. And unfortunately, I also had not at that point seen a lot of her game either. So it's like I was hearing the negative things that social media was spinning about her before I got to see how good she was on the court. Now, hearing that kind of sounds like it's saying I didn't like her. Well, the reason why I can't say that is because along with that I was also seeing social media clips or YouTube videos of things that I really enjoyed, which actually did not have to do with basketball. So one of the things was when she had an interview with someone, and she was just kind of talking about women's pay and things of that nature. And I felt like she was extremely well spoken on that, and it didn't seem like she was trying to be ridiculous or that her expectations were ridiculous. And then the other thing was an interview with Kevin Hart that she had. And part of this interview, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the entire interview was actually done in a cove bath. And so I got to see her sense of humor. And it really let me know, I'm like, okay, this is funny. And I spoke about it before. It's so nice to see that from these players. And again, at that point, because I hadn't really actually seen much of her game, this was also, kind of the introduction. So it was kind of between that and then these negative things that I was hearing. So it made me unsure. That being said, then at her game and actually seeing her play in LA for the Sparks, I was like, oh, she's disgusting. And on top of that, to even add to that, she also like made a debut in her first movie, which happened to be the like Happy Gilmore's latest movie. And I loved that. Not only did I love that, but I loved what I heard from her in an interview that she had done for it, where she's like, I was so nervous meeting Adam Sandler and like reading my lines, and she had actually found out that he was like a huge fan of hers and actually wanted her like in the movie, like specifically requested her for the movie. And when it came to her saying her lines, he told her, throw that out the window. Throw it out the window. Like he's like, be me. Like say what you really want to say. Don't worry about, trying to get the lines like 100% correct or, being politically correct. Like I'm Gilmore. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. So talk to me the way everyone else is talking to me, essentially, and get into character, right? And knowing that on top of actually watching that movie and seeing how well she had done, it seemed like she was in her natural habitat. And I find that to be something that's really amazing, really impressive. And so again, it just kind of solidified. I was like, okay, I like her. I kept saying I was unsure after that, but I was pretty sure. I think I didn't want to say that I was sure because like I know like you weren't the hugest fan. And so I was just still kind of being like, oh yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. And you're like, I don't like her. And I'm like I'm still trying to but yeah, I think I've gotten to see a lot from her, especially her leadership. I love seeing how much she shares the ball, and I think she did the right thing getting out of the situation she was in. Not to say that it was a bad situation, right? It's more so, and we've talked about this, right? Where I think, and I know I'm pretty much taking over. I tried my best not to talk too much this time. I really did. I think I did. But I had to make a conscious decision to shut up. But yeah, so we've talked about this. I feel like when you are great, there's a difference between being good and great. When you're great, when you are when we're talking possible legend, when you end up on a team that already has its legend, it is not your job or any requirement of you to put your legend in the attic so that this other legend can thrive. Two things can be true. You can be a legend that's on a team that already has its legend. That doesn't make you not a legend. However, if that team is building for that legend, you will never be that team's legend, right? Like, and that's just what it is. And so to me, it makes sense that I would take my, legend elsewhere, right? Somewhere that to a place that needs one right now, as opposed to staying here hoping to eventually be seen for the legend that I am.
Yeah, I think she made the right move. I think doing so gave her space to show more like who she is.
Yeah, I also
what kind of player she
think
is.
California might have been home for her as well. Like I think I could be wrong about this, but I vaguely remember maybe in that interview where she said, "Well, like this is home. This is where I grew up." So it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So it's time for streaming and screaming, which I'm always screaming when I'm streaming. I just want you to know that. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about The Circle. Okay, if anybody who doesn't know, The Circle is a show that you can catch on Netflix. It is a Netflix original. It's kind of sort of like a social experiment almost, where a certain amount of contestants gets put into an apartment and they can't leave said apartment aside to go from like one of two places, which would be like the weight room or the roof where there's kind of a jacuzzi of sorts. But yeah, so they're allowed to go to one of these two places, and from what it seems like is it's more of a schedule thing. I don't think that it's something that they necessarily request as much as it is like everybody has their like kind of schedule where they're supposed to be. That way you never have the issue of anybody seeing someone that they're not supposed to see, because that's the thing. That's pretty much what this is about. It's about you being stuck in this apartment and then talking to people on social media that you cannot see and you never see.
It's a popularity contest.
So it
essentially.
is 100% a popularity contest, and the only thing you know about the people that you're in this contest with is what they tell you, and then you can have a profile picture, but here's the thing, it could be of whoever you want. It doesn't have to be you. So I really love this game. One of my favorite things is like when they shake things up and they like get rid of people, right? Because they can vote people out, right? So I love when somebody gets voted out and then they either bring them back as a completely different person or they bring them back as somebody that's already in the game. And now it's kind of up to everyone else to kind of figure out who
the
that
real one.
who that person is, which is as wild. Oh, that is so wild. So you can come in as a catfish if you want to. You come in as yourself. We've seen everything pretty much. We've seen people come in as people that they know. We've seen people come in as people that they don't know. But yeah, absolutely, I love that. So, what's your favorite part of the show?
Actually, my favorite part of the show is at the end, where they all meet up together at the table,
And they
it's
start to
oh, you're like, and
it's a grown man.
It's my favorite part of it because I think it's like you never know who you're gonna see, and so it's always funny watching their reactions when they see the people walk in the room, and
Yeah.
it's like, what the hell?
No, 100%. So, is there anything that you feel like they should like add? For me, I would say, like, I kind of like the idea because in the real world, you can take screenshots of people's messages and send them to other people. I would love them to add like an element where they could take screenshots, they can make fake screenshots. 'Cause that's also something that happens in the real world, right? Where they could kind of send it to someone and be like, "Oh yeah, this is what she said." Like, could you imagine? Like, because that's a real thing that happened. Allegedly that's what's happening to Gigi with the whole Kai Sanat thing. So
Allegedly. I mean, that would be interesting. Honestly, I don't really know. I feel like the circle did it right. Like every season was a change. So, like you had said when I said earlier, like you become the influencer, you can make choices. Sometimes it really was just down to like the group rating people. Then we had like the super influencer. We had like just so much. I think they, as the seasons went, they literally improved it a little bit each and every time. So it was always super interesting, especially I think the first couple of seasons.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably the best.
Yeah, I think maybe if I had to like give an honorable mention as like one of my top like things that I like that they do, it's the like little shady things with where so they'll do this thing where it's like everybody can do like a painting or something like that, but and it'll be displayed, but when it's displayed, like it's anonymous and they won't say who it is, and so these contestants use this as a moment to go for the jugular. Like they'll make a picture of someone or say somebody's name and then put like snake or watch your back or like people pleaser or just it gets spicy.
Them little games do.
It's spicy. The raps be spicy.
They really be.
The anonymous like just call outs, they do that sometimes where they're allowed to just make a statement about somebody anonymously in the chat. Oh my god. And so that's another thing about the circle. So originally for the most part it'll be like and it's not always open, but they'll open up the group chat and oh my god, the alerts. I hate the alerts. So that's like I'm sure that that's probably one of the most triggering things for them, and they could never hear that. Like imagine if somebody had that as like their ringtone. Like literally there's a sound that comes up and they know it's an alert. So yeah, so and now the other thing is they have to completely entertain themselves in these apartments. So
have no TV, no
it is a full apartment, but they don't have a phone, they don't have TV like she said. And sometimes they do have little dance parties, but even then you're still in your apartment by yourself. Music is playing, but you aren't with anyone else.
Yeah.
Like I love like they show us the side view of the apartment, so like all the windows are like open, so we can see everybody dancing at the same time, but they can't see each other. It's great. Yeah, so I'm a fan. Okay, so if you were on the circle, would you go in as yourself or would you go in as a catfish?
No, I'm going in as myself.
You going in as yourself?
Yeah, I don't know that I could keep up with all the crap you gotta tell in there as a catfish. Like, people be getting called out by like that. You go in there, you're a man, you're saying I'm a woman, and then you get a makeup challenge. Remember that one guy? And they do the makeup on the mannequin, and then
And they were
as
like,
soon as they looked at it, they were like, a man did
that's a
that.
man. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Man
they
did that.
did. Like I wasn't just sitting here and I go, yeah, that's so fun. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, on top of that, it's one of those things where like somebody will come in, like that's supposed to be say a doctor or something like that, and then they'll play a game, and the game that they play will be like, oh, like, and they get to choose usually who answers the question,
Mhm.
so they'll choose somebody that based on the fact that it says like, oh, they're a doctor, because that's another thing. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but like in your description, so you get a profile picture and then you also get like a bio, and in your bio, most people say what they do. It'd be less believable if you didn't. So a lot of times, like I said, people might lie about what it is that they do as a profession, and then they'll say something like doctor or something like lawyer, whatever the case might be, and then they'll get into a game. People will choose them based on their profession, and then they don't know the answer.
Mhm.
It's like, obviously you're not a doctor. Obviously you're not a lawyer. You're a catfish. Like, so
Yeah.
so yeah.
I'm going in as myself. I can't mess with that. Way too many people you got to talk to. Then you start making all these alliances. You got to keep conversation straight. Like, wait a minute, what did I tell this one over here? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what did this one say? And then you
Right.
got to keep track of who's talking to who and what information did you tell this one? Because then they're like, hey, I was talking to such and such, and they said that they're from such and such place, and then the other person's like, they told me that they live here. And like,
Right,
now you all
now you
but
caught. Yeah.
like no, absolutely not. Maybe some minute details I would change, but like I'm going in as me. That's it.
Yeah, so I would go in as a catfish and then reveal myself later. I feel like I have a pretty powerful story, but at the same time, like I'm kind of a jokester too. So like I would love to kind of get a feel for being a catfish. And honestly, I'm not really sure like who I would go in as. I would probably go in as like a supermodel or something. Like, yeah. And then reveal myself as a catfish after week 2. And at that point I'd just be wearing my heart on my sleeve and being genuine, because I feel like, especially for the fans, as a fan, I relate better and I connect more with genuine contestants as opposed to people just playing the game.
Yeah.
Especially when they're being disgusting about it and deceitful.
Mhm.
Like I don't really like
Yeah,
that.
it's nice to see the game be played, right?
Right.
But there's a way to play it and be nice and still
Right.
stand who
Right.
you are, and compared to play the game and just be
Yeah.
nasty.
The only thing I'd be worried about is like getting voted off the show the first week, just because like maybe something I said or something like that put somebody on to the fact that I was a catfish. And sometimes you'll see somebody that comes in there and like their main goal is to reveal and get rid of a
Get out of the
catfish.
catfish,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. All right, guys. So that's it for streaming and screaming. Now, that being said, let us know in the comments, what is it that you would go in the circle as? Would you go in as a catfish? Would you go in as yourself? Who would you go in as if you went in as a catfish? Something to think about.
What's up, guys? So, before we jump into this next book, I just want to say I've never ever read a book that has made me bawl out cry. But this book right here, this book crushed me, okay? I am talking about this book right here, Rebecca Yarros, The Last Letter. Okay. I read this book in less than 24 hours. This book is a love story. It's tragedy. It's, essentially the story of how you should always tell yourself you are enough. You're worthy of love. Tragedy's going to happen and life doesn't stop. You have to keep going. I knew this book was going to be sad. People warned me. They told me to prepare myself. I was like, yeah, I've never met a book that made me cry. And then I get 15, 20% in the book, and here I am, shedding tears. Okay, yeah, that was bad, but keep going. The book is good. The story is good. The plot is out there for you from the very beginning of the book. Then you get to chapter 27, and your heart breaks. Okay. When I tell you I cried for 3 chapters, okay, real tears streaming down my face. I cried for 3 chapters. If you want a book that I said, again, a love story, that shows you that like you can overcome things, even those tragic moments, this is definitely the book to pick up. Do have your tissues. It is super, super sad. And then at the end, it essentially says what I said. Like, there is tragedy, but life continues. Life goes on. And you just have to take your happy when you have it. And there's nothing wrong with having hope. So, Rebecca Yarros, I should charge you for some tissues, okay? Because this was super, super sad, but a great, great read.
What's up, guys? It's time for Peace and Progress with Ja. So I've been thinking a lot about the idea of trusting the process. It's easy to want to have quick results, whether it's with health, your goals, or even relationships. But almost nothing real happens overnight. Sometimes you see other people's highlight reels and feel like you're falling behind. But that's just noise. Progress isn't about moving fast. It's about moving forward, no matter what the pace is. So this week, I want to encourage everyone to focus on their own lane. Don't get distracted by shortcuts or quick fixes. Trust the small steps you're taking and know that every bit of effort counts, even if it isn't obvious right away. The real win is showing up consistently, even when nobody's watching. All right, everybody, it's snack time. And I'm so happy because I ain't gotta be the one that's responsible for it. It's your turn.
Okay. So since we talked about the circle earlier, we're going to do a game called Cancel or Classic. And I'm going to give you 10 reality show names. And you're going to tell me if you would cancel them or if they're a classic, and a brief explanation to why.
I don't understand why you always do this. Why every single time you gotta say the word brief, that you like look me in my soul and then you extend the word brief.
Brief. Okay.
Right, you don't even say the word briefly. Brief.
Okay. So, number 1, The Bachelor, Bachelorette. So, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, they're the same.
Oh, you're just okay.
Yeah.
Classic.
Okay. Survivor.
Classic.
I already know.
Oh, you told me to have brief explanation. So I think I like The Bachelor. I can't really say I like The Bachelor. I've never actually really watched The Bachelor until like maybe one of the most like recent seasons, and I like it. I think it's clean. I feel like they're actually trying to find somebody for The Bachelor or Bachelorette, and then for Survivor, I'm really big on those Survivor type shows. Like I find some great pleasure in those because it's people doing stuff that I would never do.
Yeah. It really tests, their everything, like
Yeah, no
mental
facts.
capacity, athleticism, all of that. So, yeah, I already know the answer to this one. American Idol.
Classic. I love singing. I love singers. I love the that kind of American dream come true feel to it where people, are putting it all online. Just regular everyday people. Sometimes, and from all walks of life. I know you said brief, but I was sorry, you said American Idol, and that's like literally one of my favorite shows. Like just I grew up with American Idol. And so it's just something that I absolutely like love seeing.
Okay. Jersey Shore.
Cancel.
You said that so quick.
Do I need to explain?
No, I know that that's not your cup.
Yeah, what's crazy is it's a show that I watch and it is classic. It is a classic to a certain degree, right? Because it's old. But like as an adult now, is that something that I want to see on TV? Absolutely not. Cancel.
Okay. Love and Hip Hop.
Classic.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Cancel. Cancel it 100 times over. I hate everything about them.
The Real World.
It's almost weird to say classic because I wanted to cancel Jersey Shore, and The Real World was very much in the same era. But I don't know, man. There was something about The Real World that I
Well,
loved.
The Real World started in 1992. Jersey Shore
Sure.
is in 2009. So
Okay,
you mean like
started 1992, but I wasn't watching The Real World at 2. I'm telling you that The Real World, when I say that, because it started a long time ago, but it was on
it went
TV
for a long time.
at the same
It did.
time that Jersey Shore was on TV.
Okay. RuPaul's Drag Race.
Canceled. Sorry. All right. You know what? Classic. I absolutely love drag. Like, I love the performances. I love how much goes into it. I love, the characters put behind it. And I also love seeing the fact that, like, sometimes you have drag men that are absolutely heterosexual and they literally just love doing this. And so they're completely different people at work than what you would see when they work in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a classic for sure.
Okay. Flavor of Love.
Cancel. Oh my God. I don't even want to.
So disgusted and revulsed watching this.
Just cancel, please.
Back in the day. Like,
I can't unwatch it. And what's crazy is I feel like I'm pretty sure I watched all of it. I don't know why I did. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Same.
But cancel.
I agree.
I could have lived my whole life without it.
Absolutely. 100%. Okay. And the last one, Temptation Island.
Can't use the word see when you say cancel or classic. So it's like if the question was like renew or cancel, it'd be different. But the word classic or cancel, Temptation Island is not a classic. Cancel that.
I agree.
All right. And I don't need an explanation. I just explained it by saying what I said. But that's why it's not a classic. That's why I cancel it. Kaboom. Anyway, that's next time, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. Cancel or classic for those options. All right, guys. So that's it for this episode of 6-8. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit us up with your feedback and your hot take. The next episode will be here before you know it. So don't miss it. I'm Josh.
And I'm Michelle.
Now remember, from the warm up to the buzzer,
keep your head up and your spirits higher.
See you next time.
Go together.